ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवते भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुषे नमः। पादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतकान्तिस्वामिन् नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत शिवास हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे। Bhagavatam Canto 5, 6 verse 6. Sukadeva Goswami continued, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva is the master of all Vedic knowledge, human beings, demigods, cows and brahmanas. I've already explained his pure transcendental activities which will vanquish the sinful activities of all living entities. His narration of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva's pastime is the reservoir of all art. Whoever attentively hears or speaks of them, following in the footsteps of Acharyas, will certainly attain unalloyed devotional service of the Lord. Eva. This is the Palashruti. So one will certainly attain unalloyed devotion. The question is when. When will we achieve depends on our desire. We will certainly achieve. That is the overall benediction of King Srimad Bhagavatam. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramon yajnam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmoolanam Bhagavate mahamani krute kimva parerishvara tadyo hrudyavarudyate kriti vishushushibhistatchanat. The two things, the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, saying first is tapatrayanmoolanam. So as we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, all the tapatraya, all our miseries vanquish. Modanam, thing vanishes. Miseries, material miseries. And sadhyo hrudyavarudyate kriti vishushushibhistatchanat. As soon as we start hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, sadhyo hrudyavarudyate, Supreme Lord avarudyate, comes and enters the heart. Enters the heart and resides there. As the Lord enters the heart, all the contamination in the heart goes away. Then one attains. So, whole Shravanam of Srimad Bhagavatam, it increases the pace at which we can achieve true devotion. That is why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Naistiki Bhakti. Fixed portion. Ishta. Our bhakti moves from anishtita bhakti to nishtita bhakti. Nishtita bhakti means no fixed, it's not fixed. Because of our anarthas. When anarthas are cleared, then we come to the stage of nishtita bhakti. And then we will go through speed and asakti. Then this is pure unalloyed, pure devotion. The teachings of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva are for the people of all yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, and especially Kali. These instructions are so powerful that even in this age of Kali, one can attain perfection simply by explaining the instructions. Simply by explaining the instructions, following in the footsteps of the Acharyas, or listening to the instructions. Great and so we should not doubt this. The instructions are so powerful that one can attain perfection simply by listening to the instructions. great attention. Or if one explains the instructions following in the footsteps of Acharya. And so both the person who is glorifying and the person who is hearing, both of them will achieve pure devotion. If one does so, one can attain the platform of pure devotion to Lord Vasudeva. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord and his devotees are recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, so that those who recite these pastimes and listen to them will become purified. What I discussed, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. As a matter of principle, devotees should read, speak, and hear Srimad Bhagavatam persistently, 24 hours daily, possible. Like I said yesterday, if you want some serious treatment for our material conditioning, serious treatment is Srimad Bhagavatam. Reading Srimad Bhagavatam as much as possible, as many hours as possible in a day. That is the recommendation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. One should either chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or read Srimad Bhagavatam, thereby try to understand the characteristic Lord who appeared as Lord Ṛṣabhadeva, Lord Kapila, and Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying either of these, because the idea is to do Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Of course, then once we do Srimad Bhagavatam, then we'll also do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this way, one can become fully aware of the transcendental nature of the Supreme Person of Godhead. Stated in Bhagavad Gita, one who knows the transcendental nature of the Lord's birth and activities attains liberation. Janma karma cha me divyam. Evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanmane. So simple. This is the mantra. Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Srimad Srimad. So many devotees, they keep wondering, saying that, oh, what will I do? Okay, maybe some fortunate devotees have sufficient money to take care of their livelihood, etc. Then they're wondering, okay, maybe what will I do? I'll get bored at home. See, this is the occupation. This is our real occupation. So don't waste your life. If you have money to take care, to live, don't waste your life working. Actually, we don't understand what is the bliss of completely drowning in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even if I want to, I can't because of many other services. But if somebody can just drown in Srimad Bhagavatam, no, it's nectar. It's Rasamalayam. Nigamakhalpatoर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं गतभागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः Nigamakhalpatoर्गलितं फलं Galitam meaning ripened fruit. Nigama kalpataro. Nigama means all the Vedas. Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. Sukhamukha amrita darva samhitam. Already it is Rasamalayam, full of rasa, and Shukamukad, because it is coming from the lotus mouth of Shukadeva Goswami. Amrita Drava Samyutam is filled with Amrita, Drava, with nectar, and Drava. Drava means it's already liquid. Generally, you take a fruit, it's solid, then you have to make it liquid. But this Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to Galitam Phalam. It's a fruit, but it is already in juice form. But it's not being called juice. Called fruit, but it's already in juice form. And it's nectar. And what would one do? What would one do with the fruit of Srimad Bhagavatam? Not eat it, because it's already in liquid form. So Pibata Bhagavatam. From Alayam. Pibata Bhagavata Rasa. So one has to drink the rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam. Again and again. Aho, like happiness. Oh, Rasika. Who is Rasika? Rasika is somebody who wants, who's understands these rasas. In rasas in Srimad Bhagavatam. Rasas. who is a Rasika, Bhavuka, wants to experience that rasa, the rasa. So this is our occupation. See, there's no end to Srimad Bhagavatam. First of all, just reading Prabhupada's commentaries only will take us sufficient years. Then there are all acharyas have commented on Srimad Bhagavatam. Is Sanatana Goswami, Guru Goswami, Kanad Chakravarti Thakur. So there is no end to this. You can make it your real paradharma, real occupation. And Hare Krishna, read Srimad Bhagavatam, share Srimad Bhagavatam. Whatever you read, share it with others. Really, it's blissful. Any devotees are fortunate enough to come to do that. Please try to do that. And anyway, for your own personal bhakti also, you will attain pure devotion. No doubt. Even with chanting, there is a doubt. With chanting also, there is doubt whether we'll achieve perfection or not, because we might be chanting in Nama Parada. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is nothing. All that you need is attention to read. And yeah, because it's so beautiful, so much full of rasa, you won't get bored. Why we are getting bored? Because we are conditioned. But simply by being pure in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, pure in mind, pure in action, one is able to do here with rapt attention. And then he will see Krishna in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada says. So Srimad Bhagavatam rasa. Devotees always bathe themselves in devotional service, not bored. Bathe themselves in devotional service in order to be relieved from the various tribulations of material existence. Like I said, tapatrayon mulanam. So similar to that verse. Samsara paritapa upatapyamanam anusavanam. Snapayantaha means bathing. They relieved from all tribulations. By doing this, the devotees enjoy supreme bliss, and liberation personified comes to serve them. Nonetheless, they do not accept that service, even if it is offered by the Supreme Lord. When does the Supreme Lord offer liberation? For whom does the Supreme Lord offer liberation? Any idea? Those wanting to go to Vaikuntha, Arupya, Salokya, Samipya, Sasti. But even if the Lord offers, those wanting to go to Krishna Loka, they don't want any liberation. So the devotees, mukti is very unimportant, because having attained the Lord's transcendental loving service, they have attained everything desirable and have transcended all material desires. Parisamapta, समाप्त करो. Sarva arthaha, all other desires. Bhagavad iyatvena eva. Iyatvena, because of relationship with the Supreme Lord. So we actually attain everything desirable. Most importantly, we enjoy supreme bliss. We don't understand what this is. Really don't understand. And especially if devotees have the desire to chant verses, it's even blissful. Right? The bliss goes to the next level, because every word, nana arthakai, Shastra, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Like Srimad Bhagavatam, every word, uh, uh, different meanings can be derived. Of course, we can't derive the meaning. The acharyas have already derived. For example, the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam? Anybody knows the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam? All this. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. तन्माद्यश्चेथवोऽन्वयादितरतश्चाप्तेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदया आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृगां यथा विनिमयो यत्तत्र सर्वो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकोटं सत्यं धीमहि. So this is the glorification of the absolute truth. So Srila Prabhupada has given us one meaning of this. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given 5 meanings for the same verse. That is the beauty of Sanskrit and beauty of devotees and their devotion. So it just gives us unending bliss. We should relish this. We should bathe ourselves in devotion. Don't like sip, drink it, go. Even actually chanting is also like that. Chanting, if you are chanting 2 rounds in the morning, then hours, then some work, then 2 rounds, then it will not have the effect. If you keep just sipping, just you have a glass of very nice juice and then you're sipping. Little you sip, then you left it, then after half an hour you are again sipping on it doesn't, you can't relish it, isn't it? So if you want, yeah, I mean, supreme bliss, enjoying supreme bliss is not sense enjoyment. This is the real enjoyment. This is the real ananda. And that automatically comes, automatically experienced. By drowning in Srimad. For a devotee, mukti is not a very great achievement. It means, Mangal Thakur says, Mukulitanjalaihi sevate sman. Mukulitanjalai means with folded hands. Mukti is standing at the door of the devotee saying, please engage me in your service. Devotee says, no, I don't want mukti. But actually, mukti means actually being created in one's constitution portion. Muktir hitva netarupam swarupena vyavastiti. So God quotes this very often. So when a living entity is engaged in the Lord's loving service, he has already attained mukti. So he does not aspire for mukti. And devotee says, okay, whether I go to hell or heaven doesn't. One who is engaged in Lord's loving service doesn't care about it. It doesn't matter. Wherever I am, I should just get the opportunity to associate with pure devotees and render loving devotion. That's all. That's all. That should be our real desire. Rajan Patir Gurur Rajan Patir Gurur Alam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priya Kulapati Wa Chakinkaro Va Astvevam Anga Bhagavan Bhajatam Kundo Muktim Dadati Karvichitsma Na Bhakti Yogam. Very important. Muktim Dadati Karvichitsma Na Bhakti Yogam. Vidya Goswami continued, my dear king, the supreme person Mukunda is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandava and the Yadu dynasties. Patihi Bhavatam Yadunam. Bhavatam means you, Pandavas. He is your spiritual master, worshipable deity. Patihi, Guruhu, Priyaha, Daivam. Kulapati, Kinkaraha, everything is worshipful, spiritual master, worshipful deity, friend, director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means he worked just as an ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily. But he does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto him. Muktim dadati karhichit. Karhichit at any time. I can give mukti. Karhichitsma. Na bhakti yogam. Yogam means pure loving devotional service that Krishna doesn't give. Because pure loving devotional service is mercy of the Supreme Lord. That he doesn't give. While instructing Maharaj Parikshit, Shukadeva Goswami thought it wise to encourage the king because the king might be thinking of the glorious position of various royal dynasties. Especially glorious is the dynasty of Priyavrata in which the Supreme Lord Ṛṣabhadeva incarnated. Similarly, the family of Uttanapada, the father of Maharaj Dhruva, is also glorious due to King Pruthus taking birth in it. Dynasty of Maharaja Raghu is glorified because Lord Ramachandra appeared in that. As far as the Yadu and Kuru dynasties are concerned, they existed simultaneously. But of the two, the Yadu dynasty was more glorious due to the appearance of Lord Krishna in that family. Maharaja Parikshit might have been thinking that the Kuru dynasty was not as fortunate as the others because the Supreme Lord did not appear in that family, neither as Krishna, Lord Ramchandra, Ṛṣabhadeva, or Maharaj Prithu. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj was encouraged by Shukadeva Goswami in this particular verse. It is so beautiful. The Acharyas actually understand the reason why certain verses are being spoken. And so they explain it to us for our understanding. The Kuru dynasty may be considered more glorious due to the presence of devotees like the five Pandavas who rendered unalloyed devotional service. Although Lord Krishna did not appear in the Kuru dynasty, he was so obligated to the Pandavas' devotional service. Why was he obligated? He was not obligated to the Pandavas, he was obligated to the Pandavas' devotional service. And he was so obligated that he acted as a maintainer, spiritual master. Although he took birth in Yadu dynasty, he was more affectionate to the Pandavas. In the last part of first canto, all the residents of the Dwarka, they say, every now and then you keep going to Hastinapur or to Vrindavan. So Krishna is away, his dear devotees. By his actions, Lord Krishna proved that he was more inclined to the Kuru dynasty than the Yadu dynasty. Indeed, Lord Krishna, indebted to the Pandavas' devotional service, sometimes acted as their messenger, and he guided them through many dangerous situations. Therefore, Maharaja Parikshit should not have been saddened because Lord Krishna did not appear in his family. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always inclined towards his pure devotees. Always inclined. And by his action, it is clear that liberation is not very important for the devotee. Lord Krishna easily gives one liberation, but not so easily give one the facility. It means pure devotion, loving devotion. Prema. Muktim dadati karijitsma na bhakti yoga. Directly or indirectly, it is proved that bhakti yoga is the basis for the supreme relationship with the Supreme. It is far superior to liberation. For pure devotee of the Lord, mukti is automatically. One of the very important qualities, somebody who is qualified to get the mercy of the Lord, like the Pandavas, is that they won't have any pride. And in fact, there are about 9 qualities of bhava. One of the qualities is that they really feel themselves worthless, meaning that they don't have bhakti at all. They look at other devotees and glorify other devotees for their devotion. So nice, so great, so nicely they serve. I don't have any devotion. This is natural, it's natural. So till we have pride, we can understand we are simply conditioned. So if we ask this question saying that how many of us want to achieve Krishna Prem, right? Everybody will lift hands. No, somebody should answer this for me. Already discussed this, but again, it's just to make sure that we are able to actually understand exact the essence. What should we do to achieve Krishna Prema? Yeah.
Please, Guru.
Huh?
Pleasing Guru.
Pleasing Guru. Okay.
Become his devotee.
Yeah, I mean, do. Just now answered. 5 minutes back.
Give up the pride.
Okay. No, but how do I give up pride if I have pride? How do I give up anarthas if I have anarthas?
We have to do devotional service now.
Hey, Baba. Hey, what is this? Come on. I mean, yeah, we are doing devotional service. I'm asking what exactly needs to be done. Huh?
Chant and read the Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Read Prabhupada's books.
Yeah. No, chant and read Srimad Bhagavatam. Just now I said.
Yes.
Just now, 5 minutes back, previous purport, we discussed this. See, please understand. I mean, I'm just like this way, that way. Somehow I keep coming back to the same thing, right? So, for achieving perfection, Krishna Prema. Krishna Prema is perfection. Just now we read, one devotee achieves perfection. By simply reading chanting Hare Krishna mantra or Srimad Bhagavatam, and like we said, Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important thing for us to do. Because even chanting Hare Krishna, might be chanting in offensive stage, then it won't help, and we don't have so much taste yet. See, these are the secrets of Srimad Bhagavatam that our acharyas have extracted for us. We have to be alert. Right? Every statement that I make when reading Prabhupada's purports, some statements I give more emphasis than others. Please write them down. Please note them down. So dedicate yourself as much time as possible to Bhagavatam. And some devotees hear that they are continuously reading, hearing, and all that, but they don't do any practical service. That means that they've actually not read. Somebody who actually reads Srimad Bhagavatam, meaning reading Srimad, what is the result of reading Srimad Bhagavatam? Transformation of heart, not knowledge. Knowledge is there, but transformation. Heart has to transform. Transformation of heart, when it happens, then automatically one becomes, remember, so I'm servant. What am I now sitting, putting leg on, one leg on the other, like a master? Let me engage in service. Right, so automatically, devotee who is actually reading Srimad Bhagavatam will render devotional service, will render service, will do service. Nityanubhuta nijalabha nivritta trishna Teyasya tadrachanaya chirasukta buddhe Lokasya yak karunaya bhayam atmalokam Akhyam namo bhagavate Ṛṣabhaya tasmai. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva was fully aware of his true identity. Therefore, he was self-sufficient and he did not desire external gratification. We should also become aware of our true identity. that we are servants of Krishna, and then we should be self-sufficient in that position and not desire external gratification. There is no need for him to aspire for success since he was complete in himself. Those who unnecessarily engage in bodily conceptions and create an atmosphere of materialism are always ignorant of their real self-interest. Look at this, please note this. We create an atmosphere of materialism. We should not point fingers at others. Maya. We are inviting Maya. We are creating the atmosphere of Maya. Out of his causeless mercy, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva taught the self's real identity and the goal of life. Therefore, offer our respect. This is the summary of this chapter in which the activities of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva are described. Being the supreme person of God in himself, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva is complete in himself. We living entities as parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord should follow the instructions of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva and become self-sufficient. We should not create unnecessary demands due to the bodily conception. See? Unnecessary demands. Due to bodily conception, thinking that I am the body, just simply create unnecessary demands. I want this, I want that. When one is self-realized, he is sufficiently satisfied due to being situated in his original spiritual position. He doesn't want anything else. He is just simply satisfied being the servant of Krishna. This is the stage of self-realization. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma Na Sochati Nikan. This is the goal of all living entities. Why? Because Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. Stage one gets devotional. Even though one may be situated within this material world, he can become fully satisfied, devoid of hankering and lamentation, simply by following the instructions of the Lord as set forth in Bhagavatam. Satisfaction through self-realization is called Swarupa Ananda. Swarupa Ananda. Ananda derived from being in our Swarupa Sthiti. The conditioned soul, eternally sleeping in darkness, does not understand his self-interest. Nathe vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. He simply tries to become happy by making material adjustments, but this is impossible. Everybody is just busy making material adjustments. If it is hot, then put on AC. If it is cold, put on heater. This is making material adjustment, but this is impossible. We can't really become happy. Therefore, said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Nathe vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Due to gross ignorance, conditioned soul does not know what his real self-interest is. Does not know that his real self-interest is filter. Swarthagatim hi Vishnu. Vishnu is only our Swarthagati. This is the real selfishness we should develop. It's actually selfless. To try to become happy by adjusting the material atmosphere is a useless endeavor. Indeed, it is impossible. Personal behavior in instructions, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva enlightened the conditioned soul, showed him how to become self-sufficient. So we can read this chapter again and again, the fifth chapter. Is actually the main instructions of God. Again and again. It will actually bring us to the stage of self-realization. Okay. Any questions, comments? Finish these chapters. Anything? Okay, so next we have to start next section, which is King Bharata. So we will start from what are we now? Okay, so if there are no comments, then we'll close. Granthashami Bhagavatam. Jai Ancha Kalpatarubhishta. Jai Samaveta.